again, Emma Perez from Rhythm of the World. Today I am joined by Dawn from Fly and Footwork. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I'm so excited because today we are talking about swing dancing. What? So would you mind sharing with us a little bit of your background with swing? Like, how did you get into swing dancing?
Absolutely. So I got into swing dancing through getting married, actually. So my husband and I did not meet through dancing. We actually met in a computer lab at UCF. Part of getting married, obviously, you have to learn how to dance, and, so you don't look stupid out there. So we went to a ballroom and said, okay, we want to learn how to dance for our wedding. And so they taught us some basic stuff. And then we started going to Atlantic Dance Hall down at Disney's Boardwalk. They actually had swing there, I think it was a couple nights a week. And they had live bands, and it was just a lot of fun. And we started getting hooked into the culture. Then we happened to meet somebody who did Lindy Hop. We saw them dancing on the floor. We're like, what is that? We've never seen it before. So we started doing research on it, and that's when we started tripping on the whole history of it and everything. And it just totally floored us. So we started learning it. We started actually traveling the country to learn it because there was nobody local here in Florida, that, not even in Atlanta or Georgia, that would teach it. So we went out to LA, we went up to DC, because those are all bigger scenes. And eventually we actually started teaching it because, again, nobody actually taught it here. So we were probably one of the few married couples in the scene here in Orlando, and we had friends that kept bringing us people saying, here, teach them the basic. And so we're like, okay, fine. So we're like, maybe we should actually just teach it and get paid for it. So, and that's how it all evolved.
Wow, so it just kind of happened to you.
Pretty much,
like,
it did, yes. It literally just kind of sort of came up from within, and yeah.
Awesome, okay, so let's talk about swing. Now, swing kind of encompasses a lot of different styles, right?
There's lots of subgenres within swing. I mean, as far as music, you're talking about blues, you're talking about R&B, you're talking about hot jazz, you're talking about big band, you're talking about early 50s rock and roll. So there are lots of subgenres, and then dance kind of is along with that as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, I remember when I took a lesson from you before, it was Lindy Hop.
Right.
Tell us about the Lindy Hop.
So Lindy Hop originally, see if I can get my facts right here, originally came out of Harlem, New York, the Cotton Club. It encompassed so many things. So there was social ramifications as to how Lindy Hop came about. It was actually started by black people who danced in the Cotton Club. Okay. And the first aerial actually was done by, oh gosh, now I can't think of his name.
Now, when you say aerial, will you just explain exactly what an aerial is?
An aerial is when somebody leaves the ground. So Frankie Manning, that was who did the first aerial, and he was part of what was called Whitey's Lindy Hoppers. It was a group of black guys who danced, and ladies who danced at the Cotton Club. Lindy Hop actually came out of Charleston. Okay. Charleston came out of jazz. And so all of this is wrapped up in the African beats and music that came with the African slaves over to America in the early 30s and 40s. A lot of people didn't accept the dance because of where it came from. So Charleston was a big craze, obviously, because of the 20s, but then Lindy Hop was treated very differently because of, so there was a few white people who would go into the Cotton Club and actually dance as well and started learning Lindy Hop from the black people. One of them was Dean Collins, and he actually took the dance out to Los Angeles. Okay. And that's actually how it got into the movies. And he has a very different style than Frankie Manning and the way that people were dancing in the Cotton Club. Okay. And so nowadays we call the Savoy style what they were doing at the Cotton Club, and Dean Collins we called Dean style or LA style, I guess, because that's how it got into the movies, because it was actually framed for the movie reels, the films. So it had to be a little bit more compact, and that's actually the style that we teach in our classes.
Tell us about Balboa.
So Balboa, again, was a very regional based dance, and it came out of Balboa Island out in Southern California, right off the coast of LA. It was actually created, if you will, because the ballrooms out there were so packed. This was like in the mid to late 30s, and it actually came about before Lindy Hop. It was danced extremely close because it had all these people around you, and you had like next to no floor space, so you're dancing like right on top of each other. Pure Balboa, you never actually break apart. But the Balboa that we teach in dance typically is what's called swing Balboa, or Balboa swing, I guess. You do actually break apart and you can do some moves. But when I say break apart, I don't mean that you go off and do solo. You basically are still connected, but you actually just break apart and come back, kind of thing. So
because it's cheek to cheek, right?
Pretty much, you're like hugging each other the whole time. Yeah.
So and it's really tight little footwork.
And again, that was born out of not having the floor space to spread out, and it can be done very fast music. It's a good workout. It's a great way actually to stay connected with your partner, because you can't look at your feet. So for those people out there that like to look at their feet, Balboa is a great way to kind of stop yourself from doing that. You don't have that luxury, if you will. So but it can be danced really slow and really fast, and there's a lot of diehards out there, a lot of diehards in the dance community now that just love Balboa and could do it over and over and over and over again. And but there's a lot of great music that you can do it too. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
And one of the things, and we were talking about this earlier, is that there are so many dance styles that were born here in the United States that not a lot of people are familiar with. Will you throw out just what some of the other styles are?
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so Collegiate Shag is the other one that we teach. Of course, Charleston, Black Bottom, the Cakewalk. Those are all like pre-teen type dances. Turkey Trot, which was like a precursor to the foxtrot. Yeah. There's lots of crazy trots in the 20s. Yeah.
That's awesome. What is your favorite style to dance?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Rob and I's favorite together, it's got to be Collegiate Shag.
Really?
Collegiate Shag is like crazy fun. It's because I'm a workout fanatic, so I'm all about efficiency. So you can get your workout and dance and have a great time, and the music is amazing. If any of y'all ever want to hear some great music, check out Moore's Modern Rhythmists. They do some of the best shag music, and it's all old tunes from the hot jazz era of the late 30s.
Nice.
This is when Collegiate Shag was really hot, before Lindy Hop really started to take over the country.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with us. And we're going to dance. I'm actually going to bring Ronnie out, and he's going to dance with us a little bit. She's going to help us out, teach us a couple of new things, and we're going to dance.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm so excited.
Okay,
let's do it.